Hi there. Welcome to Have It All. I am your host and the creator, Anna K. Morris, and I'm thrilled that you're here because if you are here, it means that you're interested in having it all, or maybe you're curious about what I and my guests have to say about having it all. Can we? Do we know what it is that we want? And once we get it, are we wise enough to know that we have it? And are we worthy enough to hold on to it? That's what we'll be exploring on the podcast. I'm so happy you're here, and let's get started. Hi everybody, Anna K. Morris here, and welcome back to the Have It All podcast. This is going to be a quick solo mini episode because I'd really love for you to spend your super, super valuable time. I would say your time is the most valuable asset that you have. So that you're here with me right now listening means everything. And I love efficiency. And what I'd love for you to do when I'm done with this quick 5-6 minute podcast, maybe 7, is go and listen to the last episode. It's the episode with my guest, Rachel Trier. It's 51 minutes. It's a little bit longer, but it is so good. And what I'm talking about right now is piggybacking off of that podcast. And here's the thing. Your having it all is not the same as mine. And it's not the same as your version of having it all when you were younger, or when you'll be older, or when you have kids or don't have kids, or it's just always changing. So back when I started down this rabbit hole, March 2008, let's travel back in time. I, on paper, had it all. I had everything that I had said I wanted and that people thought would be good for me. The trouble was, I wouldn't say a people pleaser, although I probably was at the time. So for my people pleasers listening, this is for you. But more than anything, I had been just so busy. I don't even know that it was as much about people pleasing as much as I was not trained on how to look inside for what felt good for me. I was really trained at achieving. I was really trained at being busy, at working hard, at getting this accolade, this degree, this amount of money, this, I was a swimmer, so like this competition. I was really trained in like achieving. And so there I was about to turn 30 and really, really disconnected with what made me happy. So on paper, I could look at it and say, like, I had a great CV. At the time I was in pharmaceutical sales, but we had brag books. I remember I had a really strong brag book, and I was really, really unhappy, right? And the trouble with it, with where I was, is that I didn't know where to start because there were so many things in my life that didn't feel bad. Now they did, but at the time I couldn't even identify them as bad. They just felt off. I remember driving to work one day over one of the bridges. I think I was working in the Bronx. And I was driving from Manhattan into the Bronx, and I remember being stuck in traffic thinking, I know this is my life. I know that. And it doesn't feel like mine. So this is what you're going to do if you relate to that at all. My favorite tool, and I'm going to make this a freebie on my website, so stay tuned. I'll be putting this out soon, is my favorite thing to do with clients that I work with who don't know kind of where to start or what they might want. If you've never really been asked that, like I had lived most of my life achieving, and then realizing like I was achieving for other people, is I make a jealousy map. Okay. So don't worry about the word jealous. Like, get over whatever you feel about jealousy, right? It's anyone that you're looking at in the world and you just like have a reaction to. Social media is my favorite where place of where to start for this, right? So if you're looking on social media and you see somebody doing something or having something and it annoys you, pisses you off, or if you're able to identify that it makes you jealous, because sometimes we can't identify jealousy because we're so like uncomfortable with it and we don't think we should feel jealous. I think jealousy is a fantastic tool because it really, really helps to identify what it is that you want. And let me tell you more. So if you see, oh, wow, that person's really annoying me, it's probably because it's something that you want. Okay. So you're going to write down who it is. You're going to write down what it is that you are jealous or maybe irritated or irked by in whatever you're seeing. Let's use Instagram as the platform. If you're seeing a picture that kind of like irritates you about this person. And then the third, so that's the first two columns. You're going to take a piece of paper, by the way, and you're going to write the person's name. You're going to write what it is. And then the third column is the best column. And this is where coaching goes into action, is you're going to write down what's one thing you could do to move yourself towards something, towards that thing that you wrote in the second column, right? Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. I think I wrote down maybe Gabby Bernstein, right? She's great. I loved her. We kind of went into the coaching world around the same time. And then in the second column, what I was irritated, I remember when I saw something I was triggered by, like, she had a coaching business. Fast forward 16. It took me a while to get here, but here I am. Fast forward to now. Clearly I can see I wanted a coaching business. But at the time I was like, okay, so there's something with coaching. So what I actually did was I hired a coach. So that was the action that I took, because I could see that like it was like her coaching other people that was really of interest to me. Now, I had done a coaching program, but I felt like I needed like that one-on-one experience. At the time she was doing one-on-one coaching. So like that was what I took the action, right? So if you are annoyed by somebody's beautiful home, it tells me like you probably want a beautiful home. How could you go and beautify a room in your home? You don't need to go buy a house. You could just make an area of your home more like you, more beautiful, more organized, whatever it is that you're feeling from that picture on Instagram. Okay, I love you. Go and listen to the Rachel Trier podcast if you have not yet. That is going to be so valuable, because Rachel really dives into when she was taking one of my courses, she was a new mom and she did not know what it was that she really, really wanted. And through the work that we did together, she was able to identify some major things that she wanted that were like really big goals that fast forward 4 years later, here we are on a podcast together, and she made that happen. So the life of her dreams is radically different than the life of my dreams, right? But it doesn't matter, because it's yours and it's our personal responsibility to make that dream life happen. And so I hope you'll enjoy Rachel's podcast, and I'm going to see you in the next podcast with another fabulous guest. Thank you so much for listening. I love you. Bye. Thank you so much for being here. It is an honor and a privilege to have this conversation with you as we expand in the world. What is it that we want? Do we believe that we can have it all? I hope this episode gave you some insights and some things to think about, and most importantly, some actions to go and take in your own life. If one of those actions is reaching out to me, I'm so thrilled and honored. You can always find me on my website, annakmorris.com, and you can always send me an email, hello@annakmorris.com. DM, texting, if you have my number, any of that is great too, and I would love to be in touch with you and help you have it all. I love you, and thank you so much for being here.